All of Spain held its breath as Princess Leonor of Spain appeared publicly alongside her father, King Felipe VI, for the final day of the Copa del Rey. A moment charged with emotion, symbolism, and barely veiled political intentions. While fans busied themselves in the stands, and cameras scrutinized every movement on the pitch, another scene was playing out in the grandstands, a silent passing of the baton between an experienced king and his daughter, the future sovereign. Nothing had been announced in advance. The surprise effect was total, as if precisely orchestrated by the royal house. For months, the crown princess's appearances have been carefully chosen, measured, and strategic. By joining her father for this national sporting event, Leonor is sending a clear signal. She is there, ready, involved, and above all, present in the moments that the Spanish people cherish. But why this presence on the final day of the Copa del Rey? The question intrigues royal observers. Some see it as a desire on the part of Felipe VI to further anchor his daughter in the Spanish popular fabric, to expose her not to the splendor of the monarchy, but to events that bring people together, that transcend social classes. The Copa del Rey is not just about football. It is a celebration, a tradition, a mirror of the passions of the people. By appearing there, Leonor shows that she already understands the importance of being loved even before reigning. The princess's choice of clothing was also carefully analyzed. There was no royal gown or ceremonial attire. She wore a discreet, understated jacket, almost military in its cut, as if to recall her commitment to training the armed forces. She was not a shy young girl accompanying her father, but a confident heiress, almost already adult in her bearing. Her gestures were precise, measured, as if they had been rehearsed and prepared. Yet, nothing seemed artificial. She smiled, she interacted, she lived the moment authentically. From the king's side, the signals were just as strong. Felipe VI allowed his daughter to speak several times during the formal exchanges. He intervened only when necessary, allowing her to occupy the space naturally. It was a live lesson in handover, an open-air training session, watched by millions of Spaniards. A powerful gesture, especially during a time of monarchical tensions. For, it must be remembered, the Spanish monarchy is not exempt from criticism. Between the ghosts of Juan Carlos I's past and the recurring debates about the institution's usefulness, each royal appearance is a test, a trial. Leonor, by joining her father for the Copa del Rey, rose to the challenge with a maturity beyond her years. Far from being a mere extra, she embodied hope, a renewed image of the monarchy. His smile, his interactions with the players, his dignified and attentive posture, everything was interpreted as a renewal, as the promise of a reign closer to the people. And it is no coincidence that, as the fans left the stadium, the cries of admiration were not only directed at Felipe VI, but also at Leonor. "Long live Queen Leonor!" exclaimed a group of young fans, surprised themselves by their spontaneous outburst. The behind-the-scenes of this appearance were also meticulously organized. According to sources close to the palace, it was Letizia herself who encouraged her daughter to seize this opportunity. The queen, always concerned about the family's public image, reportedly felt that this moment of national communion was perfect for cementing Leonor's burgeoning popularity. A risky bet, certainly, but one that clearly paid off. Opinion polls conducted in the hours following the event show a marked increase in young people's confidence in the crown princess. This is no small feat. In a country where young people are increasingly distant from traditional institutions. The gestures are unmistakable. When Leonor stood up to applaud a decisive goal, everyone followed her. Her enthusiasm and energy filled the official stands. Felipe VI, seated beside her, displayed barely concealed pride. As if, for a moment, he saw not only his daughter, but also the continuity of the crown, the assurance that the monarchy could still have a future in the 21st century. And that this future would come from a young woman who was educated, modern, empathetic, and connected to her people. Leonor's appearance at the Copa del Rey will not be quickly forgotten. It enters the gallery of founding moments in the princess's public career. It was not a simple sporting outing. It was a political act, a demonstration of unity, a skillful way to make the heiress loved before one day having to impose her. It was also a declaration of intent. By appearing next to her father in such a context, Leonor says, "I am ready to learn, I am ready to serve." The reactions on social media were overwhelming. Hundreds of thousands of messages, videos, and photo montages circulated in the hours following the event. On TikTok, many users posted compilations of her smiles, her glances, and her interactions. Instagram was full of photos taken from the stands, where fans expressed their admiration for her elegance and simplicity. Even Twitter, often more critical, hailed this appearance as an undeniable success. In the days that followed, several political analysts highlighted the strategic significance of this outing. In the current context, every gesture of the royal family is scrutinized and dissected. Leonor's presence was therefore not insignificant. It was part of a long-term campaign to prepare the ground for her future role. A campaign in which sporting, popular, and festive events became much more effective venues for legitimization than formal speeches. But what makes this moment even more significant is that it came at a time when Spain was searching for trustworthy figures, symbols of stability. While the political scene was fragmented and social debates were heated, Leonor's calm and assertive presence served as a guidepost. She didn't speak much in public yet, but her body language and her demeanor already said it all. And that message was one of continuity, hope, and unapologetic youthfulness. It is still too early to say what kind of Queen Leonor will become. But what is certain is that every appearance counts. And the one at the Copa del Rey will remain a powerful moment, perhaps a turning point. For it was here, in the excitement of a match, in the glances exchanged with her father, in the roar of a stadium filled with Spaniards, that the princess began to write the first lines of her legend. And you, do you think Princess Leonor is already ready to rule modern Spain?